Hey there, this is Derek Murphy of creativity.com. I'm back in Oregon for a little while, so I wanted to quickly share something that I'm looking at, which is one of my young adult fiction blogs. So I talk a lot about blogging for authors and why it's important for your books to be found when people are searching for relevant keywords, which just means instead of people searching for Derek Murphy or one of my pen names or the title of one of my books, which is not marketing because they would have to, like I would already have to reach them so that they knew what to look for if they were looking for my specific book, which is much harder. And you're probably already going to rank for that stuff because there's no other competition. So, what you really want to be focused on is the kinds of things that people are actually searching for when they don't know you or your books, but they're looking for your genre keywords. So, that's something that I've done. Several years ago when I first started writing fiction, I set up this site and I did a lot of these, top 10 best books in whatever genre. And I'm looking through the results right now because I'm closer to finishing some of my series, and I will be starting to promote more actively and turn it into a real income stream. So I'm taking a look at my blogs and what I can do to boost traffic or rank a little bit higher. But I was kind of surprised to look. I'm using this one tool, which is the Hoth, and it's a free tool that checks your site to see what you're ranking for in Google. I was using SEO Surfer, which is a nice paid tool. And I don't know that I exactly trust the data on this free tool, but I was still kind of surprised to see that I'm already ranking number one for a lot of relevant stuff. The problem is there's not a ton of volume. So people who are looking for books, if they know the book they are looking for, they'll probably search by that author or that title, or they might search for something like, books for people who liked this famous author or famous book. So the volume, like best vampire books for teens, I would expect this to be a lot higher than this 1,000, given that vampire books for teens is a huge genre with, millions and millions of books sold, like the Twilight Saga or many other best-selling series. So I'm surprised that the volume is so low, but I'm still ranking number two for that keyword. And I could probably rank number one pretty quickly because these are posts I made years ago that I never really optimized for SEO at all. I just kind of put them out there. So I'll talk a little bit about what the results are, what I'm going to do to fix them up, and then how I'm going to use those results to sell more of my own books. One of the interesting things, you can actually do this with other sites. So if I found other young adult book blogs, I could use this tool or a similar tool to see what their results are. I can see what all of their traffic is coming from. Usually a high traffic site, they might only be ranking for 5 or 10 keywords that's driving all of the traffic. And actually, if I just write about similar content to match those search results or those search queries, my content might start getting placing also, and I could kind of steal some of their traffic. So it's useful to know, like, best vampire books for teens has 1,000 people searching for it, whereas young adult vampire books only has 210. So doing a little bit of research to know, is it better to use teens or young adult? What's more people searching for? Probably want to use both. But it'd be better to use the one that more people are searching for because that's going to bring you more traffic. A lot of my traffic is also coming from these posts about Sarah J. Maas controversy, canceled, controversy. There's several in here that I'm ranking for because of one post. I saw something on Reddit where they were talking about this controversy. I kind of summed it up as a blog post, and that's driving a lot of traffic. I should have done that for more topics. You can look at what's trending in Google Trends right now. I could write blog posts about all the new releases. Publishers generally publish their publication dates early, so I could write blog posts for those books before they launch, so that when people are searching for them, my blog posts are showing up. I could also just follow Reddit and look for trending topics or things that people are talking about or searching for. I think I actually made a list of the top 100 books in young adult Reddit, the book area, so that I could write blog posts about those books because I know those are the most popular books for young adult readers. But I also just did a lot of random brainstorming. So stories about Grim Reapers, Greek mythology books for teens, YA pirate books, fairy books, fae books, just all of the young adult fantasy stuff, young adult books about fae. So I'm already ranking number one in most of these categories, which is pretty good because I start like I'm competing against traditionally published huge $1 million book publishers in the young adult space, who are probably just not writing this kind of content. They're writing news related content about one specific book. They're not writing general, roundup lists like this, which is what I've been recommending for years. And a lot of authors just don't do it, which is why it was easy for me to get all of the traffic. It's not a lot of traffic because the search queries are maybe like 100 for these. But if I have 20 or 30 posts like this, which I do, that are already ranking number one, that's around 30,000 visitors a month. It's very specific traffic because these are young adult fantasy readers who are looking for this kind of book. So I'm getting 30,000 people who might be interested in the types of books that I already write, and they're landing on my website. I'm not going out and chasing them. I'm not paying for advertising. So that's sort of the power of blogging. The challenge is right now, like there's nowhere to go from here. I'm already at number one. I can't go higher. I'm already getting the traffic that I could be getting. So the challenge is conversion. I have the traffic, but I'm not using it very well to sell my own book. So there's a few different things I could be doing. An easy thing that I avoided at first was adding Amazon affiliate links to all of these books. So if I have a book of like the best young adult zombie books, right now I basically copy pasted a bunch of links to Amazon. So I might be sending traffic to Amazon, but I don't know because I'm not tracking those click links. And if I change all of those to affiliate links, there's a good chance out of those 30,000 visitors, maybe a few hundred are going to Amazon and buying a book. And if I had used the affiliate link, I might make, 50 cents to a dollar per sale. So it could add up to $500 or $1,000 a month, which would be pretty significant, an income boost that would make it easier for me to focus on my writing. I didn't do that in the beginning because when you get no traffic or you're just starting to get traffic, I don't think it's healthy to focus on trying to monetize everything. I wanted to make sure I had good content that people were engaged with, and using, which hopefully I did well enough of. I need to check like my bounce rate, and I'm sure I could. A bounce rate is like how much time people spend on your website before they leave. I want to make sure when they land on my website, I'm hooking them with a strong intro, and I'm giving them something to latch onto, and really helping them to decide which books they should be reading. I could also, at the beginning or the end of any of my blog posts, I could link to my book. I have fantasy books in most of these categories, which is why I built these articles. So I could add like a splash graphic or a 3D graphic or a special offer, like a 99-cent deal for some of my. I've got some evergreen free books, some perma free books, and some stuff that I leave, like book ones in series that are 99 cents. So I could make a graphic that says, 99-cent deal for this book and put it at the top of my blog post to drive more traffic straight to Amazon. And then it would be a question of, I'm not sure that I would use the Amazon affiliate link for those because Amazon doesn't really like you to use affiliate links, especially when you're an author and you're driving sales to your own book. You'd get like, I'd get a little bit more money, 5% pay increase or something. But it's not worth it for me to try to mix that up with my Amazon publishing account for these books and my Amazon affiliate account. But anyway, I could be doing that to try to really focus on selling my own books. I could also have a better opt-in offer. I think I have some opt-in offer for some free books, but I could have a really strong opt-in offer. So all of that 30,000 traffic, is presented with something like a giveaway, like a $100 Kindle giveaway or Amazon credit or signed books, just something really valuable that people would want if they're on my page to try to get them to sign up to an email list. But I could also retarget the traffic from this blog on Facebook. So with Facebook ads, which I'm not really running right now because the last time I tried, I was barely breaking even. So I'm waiting until I have a couple more books out and a completed series, which should mean, like, since I know I was already breaking even, it should mean when I have a couple more books out that I'm positive, that I'm in the money, which means even if I'm spending, $1 million on Facebook ads, I'll be making $1 million plus 100,000 if I have like a 10% uh, profit margin or something like that. So that's something I'm excited about, but I'm not quite there yet because I have had some troubles finishing books, and I think that's universal. Every author has some troubles finishing their books. I probably procrastinate more than most. I am working on it. I do think I'll get there, and when I do get there, I think having a blog like this that's already got 30,000 visitors without much effort, I could probably boost this to 50,000 or 100,000 visitors a month if I just started posting new content. I barely post content on this blog, so that's kind of what I'm focused on. When I finish my series and I'm really focused on scaling and profiting from my series with my fiction brand, having this traffic is going to be really helpful, not only because it's fresh leads every month that I could be optimizing and trying to convert to book sales or getting on my email list or retargeting with a Facebook ad straight to this audience. I can make an audience of people who visited this website. I could make an audience of people who signed up to the email list, and I could make lookalike audiences of either of those, which means Facebook will look for similar people. And those actually seem to work really well. So if I have 30,000 people a month on this site looking for these topics, um, Facebook can probably do a lookalike audience and find similar people to just keep showing the ad to. Fallen Angel romance books is one that I rank pretty well for, and Fae book. So when I finish my Fallen Angel romance books or my Fae fantasy fairy series books, my vampire series book I'm actually going to finish first. So like to be able to rank number one in Google when people search for vampire books or vampire books for young adults or teens or whatever, if I can optimize that number one Google slot, which I hopefully can, and push it all towards my book series to try to get them on my list or just to go buy the book. If I really focus on boosting that conversion, I think it can do pretty well. And, advertising is one thing that I'm paying for that I will also be doing, but this could be free sales that I'm not paying for. It's just kind of already there because I've built up this platform. So I'll try to wrap this up in just a few points. You might be wondering if you're a new author, is blogging worth it? Should you start a blog? And the short answer is you should probably have something up online so that people can find you when they search for your name, something to put on your business cards, although I don't really recommend print promotion materials anyway. But you're probably not going to get any traffic, which means you're going to have to rely on advertising. Traffic depends on content. And unless you're doing this kind of content that's not just about you or about your day or about your books, you have to tap into what other people are actually searching for and write content about that, which most authors just aren't interested in doing, which is why it was sort of easy for me to scoop up all of the traffic. And now I've got a little bit of leverage because I do have some, existing platform in terms of traffic. This is also something that publishers might be interested in. If I did have a traditionally published book idea and I wanted to try to land an agent, I'd have to finish the right manuscript first because writing for self-publishing or traditional publishing markets are different. They expect different things. But I could say, I get this many visitors a month on my blog, I've got this many email subscribers, and that would help. Even if I'm not directly selling books, there's still ways to make money with your traffic. If you are starting a blog or thinking about a blog, you need some kind of a web design software. I like WordPress, which is a management system, a content management system. But there are other web designer software programs like Wix or Weebly that make it sort of easy, or anyway, there's some that are kind of like you can drag and drop things around the page and make it look the way you want. WordPress doesn't quite work like that, although it's been getting updated recently and it's a little more easy to use. But the nice thing about WordPress is there's tons of themes. So you write your content, but you can redesign it very easily by installing a new theme. And there's a lot of different WordPress themes. I have a big list of of best WordPress themes for authors that I made a couple years ago. I actually just recently bought a WordPress theme because I think I will be able to customize it by genre. So I can have like, a sci-fi author blog template so that you can install WordPress and just install my template and it would just look good already. I'll probably make a list of the best fonts for every genre for blogging and some design ideas so that, to make it, there's never really been a good solution for website design for authors. Website designers specifically, like generally you can get a website design for $1,000, but people who target authors, because it's specialized, they charge a lot more. So you can pay $5,000 to get a website that's really not that great, because they often make what the author thinks that they want rather than what's useful. And traditionally, like big famous traditional authors like J.K. Rowling, they would have a really clunky, design heavy site that is kind of slow to load and doesn't have a lot of content, but it doesn't matter because she's famous and they can kind of do whatever they want. So indie authors often try to copy those websites, but they don't work very well because people aren't looking for you. You need a fast, light website with a lot of good content that gets traffic, or else it's just not very useful to you to have a blog. Although you do really need to start building your email list, and your blog is a place to put your opt-in offer or the form to get people to join your email list. However, if you use MailChimp or MailerLite, you could just set up a landing page form and send people to that. It doesn't have to be on your domain or your website. You could just use that landing page to be building your mailing list. I first started talking about all of this stuff when I started writing fiction, which was 5 or 6 years ago. I made a course that was Reach Your Readers, which is super cheap now. And I am finishing the 21-day bestselling author platform, which is kind of why I got back into blogging. I know something about blogging. I know more than most authors know about blogging, but I've let my traffic slide and I haven't really used it to sell books because I was focused on building my platform. The 21-day bestselling author platform is sort of a crash course on blogging for authors, but also how to build a platform that gets found, that positions you, that sells your books. There's a lot of things that I could be doing better. So right now I'm doing a little bit of research and I'm scaling up my traffic in a really significant way so that I can leverage that into more book sales. I might leave a link here. If not, subscribe to my YouTube channel, look around. I have tons of stuff on Creative Indie, and you'll probably find links to those courses. They aren't really going to be open for a long time. I haven't decided if I'm going to, keep doing courses. Right now, I think they're on a discounted sale, but I'll probably raise the price quite a bit when it's finished. Anyway, I don't hard sell, but there's a lot of value in there if you want to get more book sales from your blog or set up an author blog that actually sells books. I have a lot of articles about that and I have a lot of videos about that. So you don't really have to pay for anything. But if you need like feedback on your blog, that's one of the services that I offer along with my courses. Let me know if this is helpful or you have any questions about blogging. I will probably make more videos soon when I start, making those genre templates for bloggers for WordPress, or when I start doing a little bit more heavy-handed traffic building stuff, which is a little bit more fun. Everybody's looking for those quick, easy, marketing hacks, which I talk a little bit about in Guerrilla Publishing or Book Marketing is Dead. Other books I publish on book marketing. But most of what I do, like nothing I really do is a hack. It's basic online business stuff that most authors avoid or they're not aware of or they don't consider very important. I've also done, the more traditional social media hacking to get 1 million views type of stuff. But those 1 million views, just because you're getting a lot of views for your content, doesn't mean anybody's buying books. It's actually a lot better to keep it very, very simple. I'd much rather, rank number one for young adult books about fairies. It's only get 100 searches a month, probably like 200 or 300. But if I'm number one on Google and I sell 100 books a month just from this one blog post, that's a pretty powerful thing to have and to have ownership over. As a final point, because it does take a long time to build up your blog, the way it basically works is if there's a lot of competition, you need to have better content and you need more people sharing your content. The more links you get back to your content, the more Google is going to push it up higher in the search results. So partly the reason I rank pretty high is because I have some other blogs that are also, pretty established. And so when I link back to this side blog, everything ranks a little bit higher because it has authority backlinks. That's something I've offered to my community. I have a lot of these blogs that I don't really use. I've tried to be pretty proactive about getting people to publish author interviews or guest posts if you want to, because you can get a link back to your main author website and it can be a pretty significant boost in site authority. If you Google site authority, there's all these tools that will check, and they're not all the same. So out of like 100 or out of 10, you can check what your it's not really a rank, but it sort of is. I'll tell you, your 2.2 or 7.7 out of 10 or whatever. Better is higher. And if you're just starting a new blog, you'll be at 0. And you want to push that up to 10 or 20. And then eventually, when you get in the 50s or 60s, then it's pretty like the content that you publish on your blog will outrank everybody else who has a lower number because you have a higher number. It sort of works like that. So I do have a lot of opportunities. If you want to post on my blogs and get backlinks to your website, you should be looking for opportunities to guest post to get links back to your content, or just make really great content that people share and talk about, which of course I know is tricky and you want to just be writing your books. I also write my books sometimes and get new books out there, but I spend time building up the platform as well, because when I have this stuff in place, it means I don't have to be actively marketing my books. This is all passive stuff. I'm not going out there telling people about my books. I'm not even running advertising right now. I'm not doing anything to sell my books, and I'm not making very much money, but maybe $1,000 a month from book sales without really trying. Mostly because this net that I put up, this Google traffic blogging stuff, is sort of working. It's not doing everything it could be doing, but it's kind of working. And when I get back into running ads, I'll be able to use this platform to boost my ads in a way that not everybody else is doing, because I have unique traffic that is coming to my site. I have what we would call something like strong intent traffic. Like they're shoppers. They know what they want. They know what they're looking for. I'm just giving them specific content related to what they're searching for. And there's a good chance if I recommend something, they might, you know, click over and buy the book. So that's it for right now. I'm kind of testing out a new microphone. I don't know how it's going to sound, but I'll try to be making some more videos in the next couple weeks as I finish the 21-day author platform course, which is already launched to my list. But if you haven't gotten a chance to get in yet, you can probably dig around and find the discount link that I've left open until the course is completely finished. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.